What's poppin', guys? Sean Don, back, technical analysis. Here we have Jake from good old UPenn tossing the weight. Let's give it a look. Bump start, toe and 2. Jake asked me about why the bump start is bad, and I said because it's hard to get the ball all the way out there. But first looks, Jake, looks like your bump start is okay. You can see you extend really well out to the right side. Like I said, that's what most people don't do well when they do the bump start, but that's also, they probably wouldn't do that well if they were to sling start or if they were to wind either. That's just, one of the things you learn, and you either do it well or you don't. It doesn't matter which way you start as long as you do it well, and you appear to do it well. So, but moving on, let's just break this down further. All right. So, like you said, bump start off the hip, but then you do a really good job of reaching out here to the right. You can see your right arm's almost extended, just at about 270. All right, so your arms are nice and long, but look at where your head's at. Looks like your left side's going to lead a little bit. As you can see, as you go through 0, just looking at your upper body here, you can see that your head is always ahead just slightly until about there, and then things kind of line up more. So I would say off this bump start, off the sling start, whatever, bump start, in the entry, keep your eyes fixed on like some sort of focal point, like kind of back here in the like 1 o'clock-ish direction, like 30 degrees or so before 0. Keep your eyes focused on something back there and wait for the ball to pass more. Like I said, you can see that that head and that left side just kind of guiding the ball around rather than letting it do its thing. Moving down the chain, so ball's at 270. Hips a little bit back, shoulders a little bit forwards. It looks like you're trying to keep your weight back on this left side a little bit, but you can see it's, I would guess, probably about 50-50 weight distribution. Overall, so I would say try to sit your hips down, keep your chest up more, and get your right knee more out over this toe. With this right leg so extended, it pushes the hips back and pushes the shoulders forward, so it kind of sets you up with bad posture right from the start, or suboptimal posture, I should say. Otherwise, as the ball comes through 0, you can see, like I said, the toe turn. And you can see, so once you look at the feet, you can really tell how much the left side is doing in the throw. You can see, so once again, head's going, left side's going, left shoulder, left hip is shifting back away from the ball as it goes left. You can see this really pronounced here. Once the ball passes 0, you see how much that left hip shifts away. And then you can also see, because this right leg is kind of back, or this right hip is back, and this right leg is so straight that it's not really doing much until the ball hits 0. So you need to think about turning your right leg right as the ball comes through 270. Think about turning your right leg and sending the ball out left. Use this right leg. It's a 3-pronged action. You're turning it, you're extending it, and you're also abducting it, which means pushing yourself like laterally in the direction of 270. So pushing yourself in over to this left side, and then also extending a little bit backwards and also rotating it all at the same time. Hard to think about, so don't think about it. I know I just said that's what you got to work on, but don't think about it too much, because it can get pretty hairy if you focus too much on just the right leg and not the ball itself. Yeah, overall, use your right leg to turn it, get it going, set up this left side, because you can see this left side just shifts back pretty substantially as the ball goes left. Going back to just better posture overall. So like I said, sit your hips down, bend your knees, don't sit your hips back, keep your shoulders over your hips, keep your torso upright. Imagine if you were balancing books on your head or something like that. Otherwise, this ball comes through 0. Like I said, it's just this dramatic shift back. Alright, you can see with a toe turn, you should be getting out more over that left side. Normally this sort of heel, or this hip back, knee back entry is sort of more associated with the heel start, with the heel turn. But with the toe, you really got to set up that left side. You should be able to set up the left side much better if you just wait for the ball to pass. So as you can see, your eyes are looking at probably just a little bit past 0, but the ball's back at 30 degrees before 0, if everything was in line, it would be easier to set that left side up. So pretty much saying the ball will dictate where the ball is at, will dictate where your center of mass is kind of going in a way. So just wait for the ball to pass more to set up this left side before it starts turning. As you can see, it's turned about, I don't know, a quarter turn ahead of the right leg, a slight disconnection. And then yeah, you can see the posture here, shoulders forward, hips back, a slight clockwise tilt. And then as you come through 180, you can see, because that left side is leading a little bit, that you come around just a little bit. Alright, you see your foot over rotates just a slight bit. You don't catch until 270. That's a little late for the weight entry. But then you do a good job of getting that heel down nice and early in the next turn. But yeah, so like I said, use more of that right side, hold that left side, and then send the ball around and forward towards the sector. So I know it's a toe turn, you're not supposed to have much direction, but you still need some direction. As you can see, there's almost none right here as you come and step around. After that, the left side's probably just going to take over, I bet, a little bit more. Not as dramatic, but most people, when they catch like this, the left side just starts pulling right away. So as you can see, ball comes through, like I said, heel comes down. You need to be thinking about driving backwards in this direction, which is it's kind of what you're doing. But then as you can still see, this left arm's coming across the body pretty substantially. You're a little bit more lined up with the ball than you were in the previous turn. I think that's because it's picking up velocity, momentum, whatever you want to call it. But then you can still see this hip kind of shifts back and pulls away. This left knee is too far back away from the toe. You want this left knee a little bit more forwards. Once again, more weight on the left side. The right leg, once again, needs to be used effectively in the early double support to kind of set your weight up and set the ball up to allow you to get over this left side. But as you can see, there's still just a little bit left side pulling away, leading the ball. And then as you come through that second single support, much better catch here, catching a little bit earlier. Hips are getting a little bit more underneath the shoulders, getting a little bit more down into the legs, bending the knees a little bit more. That's good. Green tea break. But yeah, getting down to the legs a little bit more. And then you can see ball's getting a little bit steep here, it looks like, down by the knees. I would say try to keep it just a little bit flatter, and you can see this left side starting to go even more here. So this is kind of what I was expecting in the second turn, but it's definitely more pronounced here. And I think you can see this left side and left hip and just everything pull away from the ball as it goes left. And like I said, that's because you're initiating this left side just a little bit too early. So you're using your left side too early. That's right, there is an appropriate time to use your left side, but it's usually much later than people like to think. Or people don't think use the left side at all, and then they end up just using more left side, which makes no sense. But yeah, you pretty much just got to wait for the ball to pass a little bit more until this left side starts kicking in. And that's right from the start. It's in every turn, it's kind of the same thing. As you can see in this turn, you kind of step around just a little bit again, and like I said, the left side just goes. Ball's a little bit steep, shoulders coming back, head's coming back. Another thing you could try to keep more weight over this left side is to not let your head go back away from the ball. Extending your head backwards and looking up kind of reflexively activates your extensor muscles. So your back, your traps, whatever, hamstrings, all that stuff, and you end up pulling away. So if you keep your head down, or neutral at the very least, if you keep your eyes down on the ball, you'll be less likely to pull that shoulder away. I know it sounds funky, but I've tried it. Some of my other online clients have tried it, and it's a legit fix. It's not easy to do, but if you can have the discipline and control, it will definitely help change some things and make you feel some different things. First time I did it, my neck got really sore because I'm used to pulling my head away and my left shoulder away, but now it's holding better. So, end rant. Otherwise, nice. I mean, the single support movement is really nice here. You coming really up and over that left leg with this right leg, but as you can see, there's still just so much weight over here. So your weight is, well, if your right foot was down, you would have too much weight on the right side, but there's just too much weight away from this left side. As you can see, as this left foot's about to come off the ground. All right, there. That's a no-no. Never want your feet coming off the ground in the weight or the hammer throw. and this is just a result of that left side pulling away too much weight over on this right side, too much weight away from the left side. And then yeah, you come down and you catch just before 270 if you want to count when your foot is off the ground. Technically I would say you don't really catch till there, or maybe there, but so just about 270. So like the earlier you pull this left side and the earlier this right leg comes up, which as you can see it comes up about 45 degrees past zero, the later it's going to come down. That's a really weird paradox in the hammer and the weight throw. The earlier you pick up, the later you come down. I know it doesn't make any sense to me either, but once again I've seen it to be more or less true. So once again you just got to hold this left side and work the ball around it longer, work that ground longer, and then you'll catch earlier, whereas right now you catch kind of late and you end up just kind of pulling your way through the finish. Another sign that your weight is too much back on this right side. Shoulders away, hips are forward. This is a good position. Hips are forward, but your shoulders are just too far away. And then yeah, you replace that left foot a little bit forward. So yeah, hopefully this helped you out. Let's run through it one more time. Once again, it's pretty much just letting the ball pass. Let the ball get ahead of you more on this entry. That left side, hold that head, hold the left shoulder, feel the right side working, feel the right leg working, extending, abducting, rotating. Hold this left side. It should be a post. Alright, it's the axis, it's a post. You should move around it, move the ball around it instead of moving it backwards to kind of bail yourself out. So yeah, and it's the same thing pretty much in every turn. That left side is just a little bit overactive in the first turn, so then you catch late, and then once that happens the left side goes more, and then you catch late again, and then it does it more, and the left side pulls more, and the ball gets a little steep, and then it gets a little high, and then it gets a little bit, pulls you over here a little bit, and you get pulled off the ground. And yeah, so pretty much all your problems come back to the entry. If you set the entry up right, if you let the ball pass like it needs to, and then you wait for the ball to pass in the second turn like it needs to, and then you work everything appropriately, which is easier said than done, you will line things up better. The throw will feel more effortless. Yeah, so hopefully this helps. Let me know if you have any questions. I'm happy to help. That's what I'm here for. I'm a man of the people. So, alright, thanks for watching, everybody. If you want a technical analysis of your own, go to www.SeanDonnelly.biz. Services page, Instagram technical, or in-depth technical analysis. Yeah, go sign up. It's good for you. Weight throw season is coming to an end. Hammer season is around the corner. Get ready to drop some bombs with a technical analysis from myself. Alright, thanks for watching. Peace out.